I think it's so dumb that in Sea of Thieves you can just take people's voyages. I mean, I could still do them even if somebody were to like hop on my ship and take it. The difficulty would just be the fact that because of that, I would have to like take a screenshot of the map. Because like Gold Hoarder, all I need to know is which island it is, what direction it's in, and then I would be able to rowboat to it. I should do a. I should do a video of trying to get 100,000 using nothing but a rowboat. Maybe not a single rowboat.
Okay.
Just total. Yeah, Pookie and I could not catch a break when we were playing earlier, by the way, in Sea of Thieves. No, we spawned in.
Yeah, it was very annoying.
And as soon as we spawned in, a sloop came up and started shooting at our ship before we were even ready to leave. And then we spawned in again on a different server and immediately had a ship come up like right next to us, nearly crash into us. And they had a bunch of stuff on their deck. They brought stuff onto ours, dropped it.
No, that wasn't what happened first.
Okay.
What happened first was the people who we spawned in and we were just getting ready to leave, and then someone came up beside us, or like a little bit distance away.
I already told
started
Dragon
shooting
that.
at us, and just like.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And then I was moving on to the second one, talking about the people that had all of the like tea and shit on their ship, and then like I jumped onto their ship, started picking it up, putting it all down. They put a gunpowder on our ship and blew it up.
Yeah, and then
really?
me and him were just picking up and putting stuff down to get stuff for a deed.
Yeah, because if you put
killed
loot
us.
on somebody else's ship, it starts counting towards a challenge. I saw that, so I immediately started picking up all of their tea and putting it right back down again. And in the time that I was doing that, they decided that they were going to blow up our ship that had nothing on it.
And then they decided to kill us because we were picking up their
Well,
stuff.
no,
and putting it back
they
down.
decided to kill us for no reason.
Oh, they did it to me after I picked up their stuff and put it back down.
Let's leave and do a 3v3. Let's leave and do garage with 3v3. Let's leave garage with 3v3. Come on, guys.
So you were the reason they started coming after us, because they were already hostile by the time I started picking their shit up.
No, I had given them one
So
of our
you
books.
did it, Pookie.
'Cause I had given them one of our books. And
So
our
she-
thing,
so-
because your thing wasn't working. So I just like...
Yeah, there was the pirate
we'd
lord was
reload.
like on my
And so
ship
I was
trying to give
giving
me a
them our books
tutorial,
and
and he
stuff.
wouldn't go away, and it wouldn't let us place a voyage while he was still on the ship. If you guys wanted to play Sea of Thieves, I would totally be down for it. Dragon doesn't have very long though. I suppose you got an hour.
And I'm playing
I'm an
Minecraft.
hour.
Yeah, but what were we gonna get done in an hour? Plus, we'd have to start on a brig, and then once you get off, I probably wouldn't want to be done yet, because an hour's not very long to play Sea of
Exactly.
Thieves for.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Well,
You gotta imagine that by the time you have the ship all set up, it's pretty much like 30 minutes in.
Well, you could have a ship set up in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like
there
I could
wouldn't
be
any-
on a brig in no time.
I need you.
It's just a matter of like there wouldn't be a whole lot of what are we doing? What are we doing? You'd be like, all right, I'm on the ship. I already started the representation, so you guys just got to join. I'm already sailing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can try that tomorrow, but...
The last person that I had dated, by the way, Dragon, when I was over at their house, they had a friend over, and both them and their friend were talking about how they didn't like Brendan Urie anymore.
Alright.
And I could
Mhm.
understand
Continue.
them like not really buying him coming out as
I know left. What?
what did he come out as?
Gay. Bisexual? I don't know.
Well, I mean, the
Something like that?
bisexual wasn't a surprise at all. It was the fact that he like didn't he come out as gender fluid or non-binary or something?
Hold on, let me check.
Maybe it was just him coming out as gay or bi. But anyway, they started talking about the fact that they really liked him a long time ago, and then they were like, I feel like he just flaunts his voice. There you
Pansexual.
go.
It's a panda sexual.
Yeah. They were like, I feel like he just flaunts his voice. Like, yes, you have a great voice. Can you just, like, not constantly show it off? And I'm like, why would you be mad about that? Like, of all the things to be annoyed with, you're mad that somebody whom you liked the singing of is too good of a singer? And yeah, why would you not want him to flaunt his voice? Like, if he's around now and might die later, wouldn't you want the best possible, like, basic breakdown of how he could sing? Wouldn't you want all of his songs to be him pushing the limits of his voice and still sounding awesome?
Oh, I guess he does go by they then?
Okay, yeah. That's what it was then. Was they were...
I don't know. I
were
might be
panning him for that.
reading the wrong thing.
I mean, I will respond to they, them, because I
Oh god, this is
am
awful.
a person.
Alright, we got a pot, you know, we take the trout.
You got pot?
Yep. Got the trout. Got the
You got the pot.
got the pot. Get in there.
Is that co-op?
Yeah, there we go. It's awful. I'll tell you
I
that
haven't
much.
cooked with anybody in a really long time.
Let's see, is it co-op? No, it's single player.
I cooked in my cooking class, except most of that was just the senior girls who were a grade above me, sitting around talking while I cooked food, and then they ate it. That's basically about it.
Alright, then we take this pot. Yep. Smoke it.
I still can't tell, or I could never tell if one of them actually liked me or not. Like, you would think it would be weird, 2015, like, shooting spitballs at kids. I had it happen.
Or maybe he doesn't. I don't know. It's because we all call the band, like, Panic at the Disco. That's, like, they, them. Like, it's referring to a group. And
Panic at
I
the
don't
Disco
know.
is just Brent and Yuri, though.
I can only get him down to half HP.
Exactly. So we basically use they and them pronouns for Panic
After-
at the Disco, but it's literally just a one
After
person band.
listening to the new album, my annoyances are it's trying to sound too much like Queen, with like the constant changing of how the song is actually going. Like almost all of the songs switch up like Bohemian Rhapsody does. Almost all of them. Pretty much every single song has backing vocals of people that obviously aren't Brendan Urie, which I wouldn't have a problem with were it not for the fact that it is literally every single song has additional backing vocals that aren't like actual other band members. It's just random people in the background singing. So it doesn't really add.
But is there other band members? Or even any other band members?
What?
Is there even any other band
Panic at the
member? I
Disco is
don't
just
think
Brendan
so.
Urie.
Exactly.
So like the fact that every single song on the album has people other than him singing, but he is the only actual person, is weird. And it's way
Yeah.
overdone. It'd be fine if it was, you know, even
mean, you
half of the
could-
songs, but every single one
It
of
could at
them
least
is.
be credits or something to those people.
Oops.
But then they
Right, we do
specifically
whatever
recorded
we
it
want.
on older equipment, so that way it would sound like older songs as well. Because he was like, I feel like it makes it like it gives a warm feeling to people to hear that like buzzing in the background from that older shit. I'm like, okay, weird. I went from listening to the entire album of Viva Las Vengeance, and then immediately listened to a single Set It Off song from their latest album, and I was like, oh my god, so much better. Just the sound quality.
Alright. Actually has to go
I
back
just
in.
realized something. I'm pretty sure that usually by the time he gets on, or by the time I get on a thing with
Oh, you guys have a
him,
thing?
Dragon, you're not on.
Aha,
You're
see?
usually not on the on Xbox by the time that happens. So
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you either.
She doesn't know what to tell him. She doesn't know how to make
I know
her
what to
feelings
do.
known to him. Dragon, we
My
gotta help.
God.
We gotta join a party and be like, bro,
This topic again.
she is
this topic
so
again.
into you.
I'm into you.
This topic again.
Still
I'm
into
into you.
you.
I'm inviting you.
Wait, I
I'd
have a
like to-
question.
Isn't that a Paramore song?
I'm an answer.
I
think so.
Into you.
Like an
I'm
old one.
into
I have a
you.
question.
I have a
I think-
possible answer. What?
I just have an
So
answer.
if
It probably
someone-
won't be to your question.
If you're talking to someone and they mention oh, okay, I mean, I guess it would depend on the situation. And they mention something bad that their ex did and said in their last relationship, does that mean that they like you?
No.
Or, or
It means they
would-
need to get
No.
over their ex.
No, that's
I happen to be a
that's
special
not-
case where my ex is still involved, so.
no, something that I don't know how to explain.
You could just tell us
Oh,
what
wait.
it is.
You joining or not?
Like, you know how some people when they're mad, they'll just be like, okay,
Whatever.
or would shorten words, or would shorten
They
words
just send, like,
good
K.
night or something like that. Tonight, or something similar.
Yeah, like
Shortening good night to just
passive
night.
aggressively shortening goodnight. Yes.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that. And that other person would think that they were mad or something.
Okay. So, what do you need an answer to? Does it mean that he likes you because he said that he was bothered by her shortening words when she was mad?
No, because he was didn't know if I meant anything by shortening. Worried that I meant something by shortening.
Okay, so that's a massive insecurity.
Or not exactly worried,
So
but
confused.
was
Yeah?
just asked me if I was okay.
Okay.
Dragon, would you register that as an insecurity or
Give me a
concern?
minute, please.
I don't even know what we're talking
Okay,
about.
so context.
He's confused.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he told her, or I don't know how it was phrased, but
asked me if I
because
was
she
okay
had shortened
because I said
good night,
instead of good
and
night.
And I said,
apparently he had a previous relationship where his ex was mad and would do that.
but fucking Thur said that
Or-
confusing me.
What?
Or something like that.
It sounds like he said, who's choking my cock? Not
The amount of stupidity
It
behind that
sounded like he-
doesn't deserve an answer.
Okay.
Are you upset because you only said morning and not good morning? Like, what?
No, more like I don't know how to explain
You didn't say good night. You just said night. Are you okay?
it.
You seem
Nicole did
rather
that same
upset.
thing. It is
Or used it to bother someone or irritate. I don't know.
so.
You didn't ask if I had a good day. You're just talking about yourself. Are you a Leo?
No, it's not that.
Dragon would know.
No, but like, yeah.
I would go back and read it and tell you the context of it or why it came up. But I don't save the chats, so
Amount of stupidity behind that. This doesn't deserve an answer. That's my answer to your question. I refuse to give an answer.
So he's either throwing a flag for his own insecurity or was curious? I don't know.
Yeah, he was.
It's a weird
Curious.
question.
He was bi curious.
Why'd you keep me?
yeah, I figured it would be a weird question.
Hey, don't aim for my head, dickhead.
Matthew, what are you talking about over there? Matthew,
The fact that
you hear what he?
him like bringing his ex into it while talking about that means that he has.
No, it's because I asked. It's because I asked why he asked me if I was okay.
Hmm.
And then he said, no, it's fine. And I was like, no, tell me, why were you asking? Yeah. I insisted that he tell me why he asked if I was okay.
Yeah, but he might have just gaslighted you into that though, because naturally you would ask why he asked if you were okay.
He avoided the question completely when I asked it.
Right, but if he's done any talking to you at all, which we also have, he would know that you would try to prod that.
I have them. Oh, it's lemon.
This information also just coming from somebody who is jaded to begin with, and I don't like seeing the best of people.
Yeah. No shit.
Well, it's just not worth it.
I might be a pessimistic person, but I like to see the good in people.
I know. That's why you still talk to us. Weirdo.
I think that's a big. I think I have a problem. I think that's a big problem with me.
Ah, you'll learn
Seeing
someday.
the best in people is on it awkwardly the same reason Matthew's still alive. She's like, maybe he'll become a person.
No, he's alive because I don't have the will to kill him.
Yet. Your hate is not strong enough.
No, I don't.
His life
No,
isn't
I
even
don't
worth the
like
punishment
Noah, I
she
do.
might incur by doing anything against him.
I don't have the will to kill a person. If I did, he
Alright,
would
well,
already.
you are out of my apocalypse survivor colony. Sorry, Pookie.
I mean,
Gotta be willing to kill. Sorry.
okay, no, listen. If
Red
I
flag.
had, I would be willing to kill, but like, I feel I just don't.
No, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it out of malice, but you have to
Gotten
like
close to
know
it.
that it's like, hey, this person's not good for the community. Gotta murder them.
If it needs to be
If
done,
Matthew tries to
shall be
join our
done,
Apocalypse
but, like,
Survivor community, we just kill him. You can't turn in that
He would
situation.
die.
You can't turn
Execution.
people away because you know they're gonna
Beheading.
come back and like try to fuck you over later. You know, we've played Rust with him.
Beheading.
Yeah, we just tie his ankles to some cinder blocks and throw him in the river.
No, we would do it
Take
the
him to the
old-fashioned way and behead
quarters.
it with a guillotine, a homemade
Or freeze 'em.
guillotine. I feel like a guillotine would be the best way to do it, but okay, yeah.
Well, I mean the point is to remove him.
I've always wanted to behead someone with a guillotine.
We will
Come on.
guillotine one person. Okay.
Multiple people. I would love to
Can it be
guillotine
me?
multiple people. I would love to see heads rolling. Okay, that sounds like so
Can it
much
be
fun.
me?
All right.
I'll
We
be the first
will.
one.
Apparently I'm having a full
We will do a 50-50 guillotine versus hypothermia. Okay.
Coin flip.
We will
It'll
coin
be decided
flip
by coin
how we
flip.
kill people. Okay. And no using a two-headed coin.
Yes, that's or dice roll. Dice
Roll a
Just
D20.
get like a 20-sided
Congratulations,
dice.
you just crit saved on your execution. What does that mean? Gunshot to the face.
Make a chart. You know. of
We spin the wheel.
Which
To the
number means
monkey.
what? Oh yeah. Make it a rare chance that someone actually lives and they're just imprisoned.
Permanent imprisonment, yeah. The Wheel of Death. That one says old age, yeah. It's very inconvenient for the rest of us.
I did it.
No one said we have to feed you or anything. I mean, we do have to feed you every
Starvation.
once in a while, but obviously we're not going to feed you all the time. Oh yes, that would be great to have on the board.
You'd be like a goldfish. We're gonna forget to feed you every now and then. You might die. You might be alive next time we check. Who knows?
We might not give you water either. You know, it just
That's
depends
awesome.
Not
on
giving
how
you
everyone's
goldfish
feeling
water.
that day.
Can you imagine
Depends on how the person's
buying a
feeling.
goldfish and putting it in
Feeding
a
you.
dry fucking tank? Just plop it in. All right, I think I'm missing something. What?
Ben. You want to hear
Sure.
something funny?
Drowning.
My
you
dick.
know, suffocation.
So I got
There's a
my
lot of ways.
summary for the tutorial on
Okay.
this game. It says meals income 31. You know, I get $31 for it. Tip income $10. Expenses $1,192.
What'd you do? Did you just
Total
like
income.
pile up a bunch of fucking
Negative
herring?
$1,100.
What did you do?
I'm sorry. What's going on?
I'm playing
He just
Cooking
kept
Simulator
throwing
and I made
food
a
on the
meal,
ground.
You know?
He melted pots. He burned the house
I
down.
threw away so many fish. I made $41 from the meal, but I spent $1,192 making it. I'm in the negatives.
I'm sorry. What'd you do?
You have a problem.
I made a $41 meal by using $1,132.
How does that even work?
That's the
Easy.
law
It's
of
my cooking
equivalent
skill in real
exchange.
life.
Dragon, I swear to God, I am about to unfavorite you from my friends list.
See, why do people keep telling me this? Man,
Oh, did Ben tell you this earlier?
Did you not
when
hear us
he-
yesterday when we were
being
playing
about
with you,
to do
Dragon?
it?
We were like, oh, look, Dragon's online.
Yeah, Dragon just came online again.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I can't fix it. I'm not like doing anything.
Exactly, that's the problem. You can't fix it.
Why would you be so mean? How could you be so heartless?
How could you be so Dr. Evil? You bring on a side of me that I don't know.
I certainly don't want to listen to your Dragon is on. Rain Dragon is online every 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh yes, set today's special myself. That's the one I
$1,000
want.
salmon.
I'm ready.
No, I never want to.
Ah, yes, the caviar priced popcorn.
Talking about.
Resident chef's favorite dish. His signature.
Oh, those were skill points. Whoops. I just kind of clicked randomly.
Uh-oh.
Yes, my
It's okay.
my
Michael,
signature disc.
Dish. You know what we could
Dish.
do, Dragon? We could play Obelisk together. The two of us. Just the
Okay, then.
two of us.
Tormentor. What's Obelisk?
Pulls out an actual Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I'm watching.
Bye bye, Ravioli.
What is Obelisk?
It really
What?
matters. It really matters.
I said, what
you know
is
whose opinion
Obelisk?
A
doesn't matter,
card from
Matthew?
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yours. Your opinion doesn't matter.
What do you mean, what is Obelisk? Across the Obelisk? The card game?
Honestly.
Oh,
Multi.
oh
yeah.
is that what the name of the game is?
Multiplayer Slay the Spire.
Oh.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You need me in your apocalypse thing. My sewing skills are immaculate.
Oh, if you
Just
sew,
saying.
yeah, sure. You have to learn more than just that, but if you can sew, sure.
Yeah, I can cook. You know. Oh,
Can you make a $40 meal out of $1,000, huh?
Dragon's got you beat there.
no, Dragon, I can't do that.
You know, I can cook too.
I can garden. Ish.
Pulls out Stardew. I can garden-ish.
No, I've gardened.
Pulls out gardening mama.
I don't like.
I know, we've all gardened before. It
I
was
know
together.
CPR.
We did it like a week ago. You know CPR?
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with a funny acronym for CPR, but I couldn't think of anything.
Crush people's reindeer.
Dragon.
Cock Patrol.
Crap pet roll.
I'm very creative in coming up with ways stuff. So I mean.
Of killing people.
Guillotine.
I'm
What
very
else?
creative
Now,
Guillotine.
listen.
What else?
People.
Guillotine.
Listen,
What else? Guillotine.
starvation. Okay, just because I favor a guillotine means nothing. Okay.
I find it
it
funny
means a
that
lot.
there are people that call it guillotine. I'm like, okay, it's a French word. Shut up.
It's a guillotine. It's just like people calling macaroons or macaroons. Like no, it's macaron, not macaroon.
Macarons.
Listen, macaroons are the almond stuff, the almond based stuff. Macaroons are the coconut like French. Very nice looking.
Yeah, I've never had macarons. I've only ever had
Those are
macarons.
macarons.
Or
I've had macaroni.
you've never had macaron? I've never had macaron.
Macaroni. Macaroni.
But a lot of
Hey,
people go
macaroni.
into like bakeries and stuff, thinking that saying a macaroon is gonna get them a macaron. No, you gotta say it right. And then a lot of people say they're both called macaroons, and I'm like, no, they're not. They're not both called that at all.
Grabs a
Get it right.
dollar. This is a smackaroon.
There's a difference. There's a difference. Okay, get it right.
Oh
I'm
my
not saying
god,
it all.
salmon steak. What do I do? Oh, I'm freaking
Then
out.
people
When you
like
have
to
to
argue
save
with me about what it's
10% for the
called, but I'm
fish,
like,
that's the salmon's take.
you know, people like to argue with me about what it's called, and I'm like, no,
It's called a potato.
you're wrong. Yeah, a potato, tater, whatever you want to call it.
Potato. Boil them, mash
I
them,
call
stick
it a
them in a
tato.
stew.
I call it a tato. but, I mean, I can't really judge how
Tater.
other people call it. What other people call it. Yeah, tato.
What's up?
Uh,
He just got a pile of shit
Yeah,
in his
what's up?
kitchen, doesn't he?
Dragon.
He's making $1,000
He
birthday
probably
cake.
does.
I didn't
No,
want all
no.
that water.
Listen, it's a $20 birthday cake that he's making.
He's
for
flooding the
$1,000.
How
kitchen
much
right
water
now.
do I need?
With $1,000. He's making
Oh
himself in
god,
debt,
I
is what
can't
he's
get the
doing.
water out. Stop flapping the lid against
When you
the
realize
edge.
it's time
I
to
need
switch to
get this
catheters,
water
I
out.
can't get the water out.
You know, he's making himself in debt. Who's even
850.
playing?
I'm playing
Cooking Simulator. I need to download that.
Just to laugh at it.
855 milliliters, but I
Yeah,
need
just
1
to
liter.
laugh
How
at
many
it.
milliliters are in a
Jesus,
liter?
you are American. 1,000, genius.
Jesus.
Milla is 1,000.
How do I, how much
So
water
milliliter
is
is
You're a
one
teacher and you
thousandth
didn't
of a
know
liter.
this.
Oh god,
You're a
go back, go back!
You're a teacher.
He's an
and you
American-
didn't know
he's
that.
an
You went to
American
school
teacher.
for this stuff, and you didn't know this.
To be
You
fair,
went
I
back.
was barely even
Stop.
taught that.
I mean, yeah, honestly.
Pick
As
it
soon
up.
as I'm taught something, I forget it, so I can't blame you,
Yeah.
Dragon.
Turn off the water.
Matthew,
Water, turn off. Stop flipping it from side to side.
he doesn't even know
Turn
how to
it
turn
off.
off the water.
Turn it
Dragon,
off.
why do you
unfortunate.
claim to be
Turn it off.
capable of cooking
Okay.
in real life?
I'm trying.
Right? You're not even capable of cooking in a game.
I'm trying.
He's not useful to us in the slightest if an apocalypse happens. You do realize this, right?
It says pour the salt. Pour the salt.
He just realizes the salt shaker
All
is
the salt.
infinite, so he just shakes it everywhere. He just buries his house in
I
salt.
got-
It looks like the house flipper, like Snow House. You gotta dig out the salt with a fucking shovel.
I got 50
You
grams
do
of
realize
salt in
that
here.
he's not at all going to be useful to us in an apocalypse, right?
Buy 2 potatoes. Hey, you say that, but in the end, doesn't
He can't
matter.
even get a girlfriend, let alone cook. I mean,
Yeah, that's because those two things are supposed to go hand in hand. Hey, I've got a girlfriend.
Yeah,
Can you cook?
once I
No,
get a
I've got a
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
if he can't
Alright.
get a girlfriend, then
Put it
if
down
he can't
in the
cook
muck
and he
area.
can't get a girlfriend, then he's not at all useful.
I didn't
Uh,
say he was.
Open for
So we're
boiled
just gonna
potatoes.
keep him around as a pet.
Yeah.
Is it
You
working?
really want to keep that around as a pet?
Well, if it's my apocalypse
We gonna
community,
feed
he
him-
gets in by default.
Yeah, might
we
I do?
gonna cook
It's like your
Cook the-
child becoming
flesh
king
of the
automatically
people we
because you're
kill?
king.
Up
and
the
feed
You
them
dragon.
just have
to
to
him?
accept it. Is it a good idea? No.
We gonna cook
For
the
sure.
flesh
But is
of
he the
the
one
peop-
that's gonna do it? Yeah.
Are we gonna cook the flesh? We gonna cook the flesh of the people we kill and feed it
Or
to
the
him?
people we guillotine?
Can
Hey,
that be
wait
how
a
he lives? I mean, you don't want to waste food after all, so that's probably
Turn
how he should.
$1,000 worth of people into a
Hey.
$40 meal. Sounds about right. Dragon, we're gonna ship you a real human kidney, okay? You need to make food out of it. A gourmet dish.
Don't go too much pepper on here. Someone's sneezing from this one. Just saying it. Are my
Somebody
potatoes
sneezing
burning?
from it? Would you put too much pepper on it?
Or sunflower oil. Where's the sunflower? Mrs. Puff isn't getting hot. My hand is gripping.
Dragon in
Mrs. Puff,
cooking
make it
class just
stop.
wearing his fry cook hat. Like, you've been
Uh,
doing really well on this. Yeah, it's not like there's somebody inside your hat giving you all of the answers. That would be weird. Or no, he's wearing a 10-gallon
Take the
cowboy
He has
Seven.
hat,
a
wasn't he?
miniature SpongeBob in his hat.
Put it on the sunflower.
From the grass
Yep.
bed.
Okay,
The lid.
fry the
The
salmon.
lid. The lid.
Alright, what's working? Is anything working? What should
Dragon,
I be
the lid.
doing? The
The lid.
tutorial's not helping
What?
me.
Yeah, I did.
I don't see a lid. They don't have lids in this game. That's all I know how to work with.
They don't
Oh my
have
God,
lids in
Dragon,
this
that's it.
game.
I'm
Only
taking
the
you off my
Spencers.
favorites. I'm taking you off my favorites list.
Only the Hot Topic.
I'm taking you off my favorites. I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore. Oh shit, I just pressed remove friend. What a fucking dumbass I am.
Oh, I'm no longer
Wow.
Poogie's fan. See,
No.
she
Taking it
says
too far.
accidentally.
No, I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it.
I get how it
fixed
is.
it.
I
No,
accidentally
I didn't mean
removed
to.
it.
I fixed it. I fixed
I'm
it, okay?
sorry.
I fixed it.
It's cool.
I fixed it, Dragon. It's okay. I re-added you.
That's right. How do I
Dragon, tell her that it really doesn't bother you that much that she removed you as a friend, and then tell her night and kick her from the party. You guys there? How was I in game chat? That was rude.
Grab my dog. I know, I'm going to bed.
I'm dumping liquids from the pan onto the what is
Like
this?
just
A counter?
any liquids? Any liquids?
Well, boiled water, sunflower oil, everything's on the counter. Fry the salmon fillet. All right.
At least you pronounce fillet properly. Where's the salmon fillet?
How do I flip this? Is there a way of flipping?
Firmly grasp it.
Let's see. This. Yep. Sure.
Dragon, I feel like you should take up a
Congratulations.
hobby of.
Hold on, I gotta record that.
I feel like Dragon should take up like a hobby of knitting or building stuff.
Knitting
that way, when
simulator.
the apocalypse does come, he'll actually be useful. He'll actually be useful for something. Like crocheting, something like
The
that. He
fucking
could crochet
old
blankets
lady
while
from
he's
Sylvester's
sitting in his
house.
cage.
I don't know why that's so funny. Fed wants those 15 seconds. It's so funny. For no reason. I'm gonna send it to you too, Cookie. Actually, I can't because, you know, you unfriended me.
No, I didn't. I fixed it, and you can always re-add me. So, if it doesn't work.
Buy one salmon fillet.
Oh, man, that's...
Put salmon fillet on cutting board. Season it with salt. Season with black pepper. Pick up pan.
He's actually slowly getting better.
What's ticking?
Is that supposed
Is
to
that
be
my
Gordon
clock?
Ramsay?
I don't know, man.
Listen, Dragon is no Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, yes,
How is
I
it
am.
possible that there isn't, like,
No.
that I've heard of, a, like, Gordon Ramsay cooking game?
I'm sure there is.
Fry
somewhere.
salmon fillet. How do I flip and fry?
Yeah.
Careful, dragon! Careful, dragon! Careful, dragon!
Oh.
Wait. I get it. So then we pretend that we pretend that airplanes in the night
Are like shooting stars.
I just dropped it on the ground.
God, you are such a terrible cook.
Oh my god, that salmon isn't even cooked all the way. It doesn't look
I
like.
can't flip it.
That doesn't even look like that salmon is
Oh wait,
cooked.
where's my spatula?
Get a
That
second
might help.
pan. Get a second pan. Drop
Hold
it
on, I
from
have a
one
spatula.
pan to another.
Do you have a spatula?
Spatula.
Do
Okay.
you want to cook
Uh,
some salmon? Does it have to be some salmon?
Okay, fine. You know what? Throw it on the ground. I don't care about the spatula anymore. We gotta cook this baby up. Whew. All right, we got things back on track. Salmon just fell on the floor for a little
Dragon
bit.
burning his
Liquids all
salmon.
over
You're
the counter.
good. You're good. You're good. Why is the first thing you're cooking fucking salmon?
No,
Oh,
it's
what
the
was
second
first
thing. Fish and grits.
How much grits did you waste?
None. Because I'm just built different, as the cool kids are saying these days. Alright, cool. This is looking
Can I tell you
fine.
about when I was working at the deli?
We did it
They didn't
fine.
even tell me what type of fish it was that they had me frying initially. So, like, one of the customers came in and was like, "Oh, the fish dinner. What kind of fish is that?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck, they didn't tell me." So the next day, I walked in. I was like, "Somebody tell me what the fucking fish I was cooking yesterday was," and they were like, "It's cod." And I was like, "Okay, cool." You'd think that'd be information readily available.
Realization time. I don't have that.
Do you
I'm
have
still trying to realize
Friday
things.
fish fries? Dragon? Like, do places near you have them? Yeah, Friday
Friday-
fish fries.
What is a Friday fish? Well, obviously not.
It's a pretty common thing around here. Usually it's cod. You know, like, it's Friday, so, like, grocery stores and places that have, like, fish available, they might not cook them on other days, but they just have, like, you know, it's Friday Fish Friday. So now we have, like, fish on the menu that we cook up a shit ton of and give to people.
If Dragon owned a restaurant and there was fish on the menu, I would actually. If Dragon owned a restaurant, I wouldn't get anything off the menu.
I was gonna say, you know,
I wouldn't get
is it
any-
just the
I
fish?
wouldn't even go to the restaurant.
The most annoying thing
Maybe ramen noodles.
about doing, like,
That's maybe all I'd get is ramen noodles.
doing the Friday Fish Fry, like, working one, is the fact that people just expect it to be ready when they walk in. Like, we can only make so much of it so fast, and we're only allowed to have so much of it in back stock, like, made up. And we have to keep
Yeah.
rotating it out if it's been sitting for, like, more than an hour. So we're not going to just make up, you know, 500 pieces of fish. Because the very first day that I worked there, we actually only had, like, 2 people come in and even buy any fish. Which was convenient, because, I mean, I got to, you know, learn everything while the guy was teaching me, because nobody came by to get anything from the hot deli, because it was, like, literally, like, the day after Christmas. So, didn't have to worry about that. And then there were other days where, like, you know, we'd have a dozen pieces made up, and then if we had only a dozen, we would go and put some more in the fryer, because somebody would usually come in and end up buying some. So we'd have max 2 dozen made at any given time. And then, of course, we would have people to come in that would be like, hey, can I get 3 4-piece dinners? Like, okay, well, that is half of our maximum stock. If I have any cooking, somebody behind them walks in and is like, hey, can I get, you know, 2 4-piece dinners? And I'm like, that is 2/3 of what is currently cooking. I will go drop more fish in. The fish that is currently cooking will be ready in a few minutes. And they'd be like, well, it should be ready. Now I gotta wait. I'm like, dude, you're in a grocery store. Go browse or buy something. Your fish will be ready for you when you get back.
Yeah, I mean, it only makes sense. Like, when you're... I can't remember what it is, but, like, when you're doing something, or you're at, like, another, or at, like, can't remember if it's, like, a store or something, and you're waiting for your food to be done, you don't, like, just stand there and wait for it to... It doesn't quite make
And then I've
sense.
had other days where, like, okay, so you're only supposed to let, like, the rotisserie chickens sit out for, like, maximum 2 hours.
I gotta
Okay.
go.
And it takes
do you
like
mean?
2 hours to make them.
I've been invited to another party, so I gotta go.
Oh, bound going well, well.
No, Dragon. Absolutely not. No.
But
No,
on
no,
another
no.
note,
I am leaving.
Yes.
I'm leaving. I'm quitting this conversation. Goodbye.
are you also coming?
So anyway, back to the whole deli thing. The rotisserie chickens are fucking stupid. By the way, did I ever tell you about that while I was working there? Did I ever rant to you about the rotisserie chickens? Okay,
Don't believe so.
while I was working there, they had like a guarantee of like rotisserie chickens are supposed to be available until 8. Like that was like the store policy or whatever. So if
Okay.
you ran out of rotisserie chickens before 8 o'clock, you had to like give them a voucher, or you would have to call the manager so the manager could give them like a voucher for a free rotisserie chicken. Which I'm surprised nobody ever abused. But anyway, usually we would have the rotisseries done, like the last batch in, before 5 o'clock, because with all of the stuff that you had to clean when you were working the hot side of the deli, you know, like the fish, the rotisserie chickens, and everything like that, especially on the days when we had the fish, you'd want everything shut down like by 5, because it takes legit several hours to get stuff cleaned up, and pieces for the rotisserie ovens would have to soak in a chemical for a couple of hours. So if you wanted to have more than you know, if you wanted to have everything clean, you would have to have it soaking for a couple of hours, along with cleaning up all of the other stuff. So, you know, you'd want stuff shut down 5 o'clock, like last. And there were a few times where I was late getting out because people would walk in at like right at 5 o'clock and be like, "Hey, can I order this or whatever?" And I'd be like, "I haven't shut the fryers down just yet. Sure, I'll make it." But then like we would have days where, while making rotisserie chickens, we were just barely keeping up with how fast people were coming in. Like from noon to 5, every time we would get rotisserie chickens done, there would just be another wave of people that came through and buy everything but like 2 of them. And the annoying thing is that, you know, of course you would get in trouble if you didn't have rotisserie chickens until 8, but you can't just keep cooking rotisserie chickens all night long. And then any ones that get left over have to be turned into cold ones for the following day. Like they go in the cooler, then they're sold like cheaper the following day, and then like they go on sale like the day after that or whatever. And people are always like, "Are these fresh chickens? These frozen ones?" I'm like, "They were cooked yesterday. If they're on sale, they were from 2 days ago." And people would be like, "Wow, that's gross." I'd be like, "Bro, you're asking about a cooked rotisserie chicken that is now cold. You think I cooked it and then got it cooled down safe enough to go put out in a cooler the same day?" People would ask me about that all the time. They're like, "How fresh is this?" Like, "It's from today," or "It's from yesterday." And they'd be like, "Can I get fresher stuff?" Like, you can't. The rotisserie chickens, no, you cannot get a cold one fresher than made yesterday, because that would be one I made today, which would be a hot one, and they're right there. And then when I think I told you about
Yeah, that sounds
the
pretty
dumbest.
stupid. Not
Did I
gonna
tell you about
lie.
the dumbest lady that ever came up to me when I was working the cold side? For some
No.
reason, okay, so you know, specifically for the salads and stuff while I was working there, you wouldn't have been able to believe somebody other than me if you walked up and asked like how fresh the salads were, because of course I told you about the fact that they would have people, um, you know, the manager or whatever didn't care if somebody like mixed in old stuff with new stuff, because it was like, you know what, it can only sit for 5 days, but if they got like halfway through it, they would mix another like bag of it in to the salad or whatever, and then, you know, they would put it up for another 5 days. I'm like, okay, well, half of that has been out for 5 days already, and then
Yeah.
you're telling me that it's good for another 5 days, so half of this has been sitting out for, you know, 10 days by the time it gets done, and then say only half of that gets eaten. Now, the logic that they had was they only took from the closer part to them, so when they got halfway through it and refilled it, they would scoop all of this stuff from the lower half up to the top half, so that way you would go through the older stuff first. That still doesn't change the fact, though, that there are still food particles on the bottom side of the pan, and obviously you got nowhere near all of it, because it's, you know, fucking like potato salad and shit. You're not going to be able to get all of it up, and there's going to be the residue. You can't do that. And I told my manager as soon as it
Yeah.
happened that that's what was going on, and he immediately had everybody like sign a sheet of paper that said, "I will not do this any further," and stuff like that, which of course, you know, my supervisor didn't like, because she was the one that was in charge and she didn't care if people were doing that. She did it herself, which my
Mhm.
brother had warned me they did that. I just needed to catch them doing it first.
Which
But
makes
anyway,
sense.
the dumbest lady that
Obviously.
ever, or like the most annoying, maybe not dumbest, but she didn't believe me when I told her that the turkey that I had in my storage cooler, the one that was close to me, the one that customers couldn't see, you know, the stuff that I had cut that day that was ready to be put out as like, it's called backstock. So it was stuff that if I ran out of what was in the cooler, I wouldn't have to immediately go and start chopping stuff again. You know, slicing it all
Mhm.
up and putting it in bags. I would just be able to take the ones that I have and go put them back out there. Especially when it gets close to the end of the night and I know that there's going to be people that are in early tomorrow. They don't want to have to get in and like start making sandwiches and then also have to cut meat. I got a talking to
Yeah.
from the manager one time because the supervisor was like, "I like to have a ton of this stuff back here so I never have to cut it myself in the morning." And I was like, "Okay, well, you can't have your entire shift guaranteed never to cut any meat, because the amount of backstock that I would need for that would be ridiculous." And she was like, "This is how much I want." I was like, "Good. Tell me how much you want, because then I know that if I get yelled at, I can specifically say, this is how much you told me to make. If you have any alterations you want to make to that, then I will, make less of it because you're the manager and you told me to make less of it. Because we would regularly get bags that would have to
Yeah.
go on sale or whatever, losing money, ultimately. And so we wouldn't cut a ton, but I would have like the back stock or whatever. So if people asked you to cut something that you already had like out in the shelf, your job was to try to dissuade them from wanting you to go and cut new stuff, especially if you had no loaf of meat open for it, because the specific like loaves of meat that you would slice pieces off of, like big hams and shit, they were only good for a week after you opened them. And that was another one of the things that I had to alter as well, because some people would like once they opened it, they would say that it was good for a week from then, and then if they opened it again, they would say it was good for a week from then, because they were like, oh well, I sliced off the end of it that was exposed to the air or whatever, so it's good. And I went, that's not how that works. So I had a conversation with the manager about that. He agreed that handling it safely was the way to go. But anyway, I had come in, made sure that I had my back stock all cut and everything. This lady comes in, she's like, hey, how fresh is this stuff in the cooler, in your grab and go, the one that, the customers can see, how fresh is that? And I was like, well, if it doesn't have a discount on it, it was most likely from yesterday. But I have stuff from today, specifically. And she was like, cool, I want stuff fresher than, cut yesterday. I want stuff from today. So can you cut me some? And I went, well, I have fresh stuff cut that I cut like an hour ago. It's right here in my bags that I have here. And she was like, oh, well, I needed to keep for, a number of days or whatever. Like the ones that you have out there say sell by 2 days from now. And I was like, yeah, those would be ones that I cut today, because they have to be sold by 2 days from now. So the stuff I cut today has the normal price. It's going to have the normal price tomorrow. And then if it is still in the case at the end of tomorrow, it's going to be pulled out and marked for discount, so that way we can get rid of it. And then if it's still in the cooler by the sell-by date, then it gets pulled out and it gets made into like the sandwiches or whatever, and then those are allowed to be out for another 2 days. So the lady told me she needed to keep for an entire week, and I told her that the going policy is that after the date, our sell-by date, it's still supposed to be able to keep for another 5 days in your fridge. So I told her the stuff that I just cut an hour ago should keep for an entire week. And she was like, oh, well, I would still prefer you cut me something absolutely fresh. I need it like 1.5 pounds or whatever. And I was like, I have 2 separate bags here that I cut. One is 1 pound, one is 0.5 pound. Exactly what you're asking me for. I cut it an hour ago. And she was like, yeah, but I want it to keep long, like I need it to stay good for an entire week. And I was like, I have 2 separate bags here, which means one of these was cut and won't have a lot of bacteria and stuff getting onto it, and you could stick it in your fridge and open one, not the other, thereby increasing your chances of being able to keep it longer. So if you take these 2 bags here that I cut an hour ago, this will keep longer theoretically than even if I were to cut you 1.5 pounds and stick it in one bag. And this entire exchange took almost 5 solid minutes of her just constantly telling me she wanted me to cut fresher stuff. And normally I would have just been like, yeah, sure, I'll cut you something else separately from that. But it was also like the time of night where my slicer was going to be taken apart and cleaned, like as soon as I was done talking to her.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to have to do a full clean on it again, because I've already rinsed it off. Why is Pookie inviting me to a party? But yeah, she was not satisfied. when she walked away. She took
She
she took
sounds
the
like an
two
idiot.
bags that I offered her. Yeah, I had several times people like come up to the counter and be like, "Hey, this says it's only good for 2 days," and I was like, "No, that's our sell by date." And they're like, "Yeah, but it's only good for two. It says sell, within 2 days. So, could you cut me something fresh?" And I was like, "Yeah, that would be that." And like, if I print you off, if I cut something and print it off, well, if I cut it custom for you, it doesn't have like a sell by date on it because it's technically sold already. If I cut it specifically for the person coming up,
Yeah.
but I was like, yeah, it's the sell by 2 days from now means I cut it today. And I don't know why people would just assume that I would lie about something like that. Like for some reason, they just think that lack of transparency would somehow ever get anywhere in the food industry.
I don't believe you. You're lying to me.
Also, literally all of the salads that we had in the cold side, like the potato salad and shrimp salad or whatever, all of it tasted like fucking garbage. I don't know how people can stand to eat deli salads and stuff. Like it all just tastes like the sum of its ingredients just mixed together in fucking mayonnaise / mustard. Like all of the salads that we had, I tried most of them, were just garbage. I don't know why people like potato salad. I like German potato salad is okay. American potato salad is garbage.
American potato. Really? You don't like
I
this?
hate potato salad.
I'm surprised.
German potato salad is fine. Do you know why? Because it's potato
nope.
slices in a little bit of a vinegar mixture, very lightly, and then seasoning. That's it. Delicious.
Mm.
That was the only thing that we had as like the cold salads that I could stand to eat. I had a lot of people that would come in and they'd be like, "Oh, how can you resist eating all of this?" And I was like, "Bleh."
You don't like it, huh? I'm actually surprised. Potato salad is
I
really
hate
good.
potato salad. It's gross. Is it homemade potato salad or like a deli potato salad you're talking about, though? Because
No,
I've
like
had homemade potato salad that people have made. It was delicious.
I mean, yeah, that too, but
Like, I'm not going to hate on all potato salad. Just like I don't love all macaroni. There are people that make homemade macaroni and put mustard in it. It's fucking nasty. We actually, we made macaroni in that cooking class I was talking about. And the recipe called for mustard. And, like, we went over to get all of our ingredients, and I was like, hey, when you go grab the ingredients from the table, because it was like, everybody had their specific job that they were supposed to be doing. One person, their job was to go get the ingredients. I told them specifically, I was like, when you go get ingredients, don't grab the mustard. And they were like, what? Why? It's part of the recipe. And I was like, I'm not going to eat it if it has mustard.
oh really?
Yeah. People can pretend that certain flavors can be hidden, or like, oh, you hardly taste it or whatever. And like, no, I will taste mustard in anything. Unless you put like so little of it that it's not even part of the flavor profile at all. Like basically the equivalent of like eating pumpkin pie. It doesn't taste like pumpkin because you've put so much other shit in it. You know,
Mhm.
that's why sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie taste exactly the same, because you're just putting so many different seasonings and spices in it to make it so that way it doesn't taste like shit.
I don't like pie.
You say you don't like pie?
No. Any type of pie. There's no pie out there that you could convince
Cream?
me to like. Unless it's shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie is dope. Have you ever had it made from an actual Amishman?
No, I haven't. That's because I don't know Amish
Are there
people.
any Amish in Rhode Island?
Uh, if there are, then they're pretty good at
Oh,
hiding.
okay. I was gonna say, in the heat of summer, if you go to like a farmer's market or something, sometimes they'll have shepherd's pie. Like pre-made, you can just walk up. They'll have it in like a, you know, like one of the pie tins or whatever. You can legit just buy a whole shepherd's pie, take the top off, and just walk around eating it with a fork and hang out with people. You know, like chat up the guy who brought all the zucchinis and shit. They had rhubarb.
Well,
They had
yeah,
rhubarb
that guy.
pies too.
You like rhubarb?
It's okay. It depends on how it's made. You gotta. It's. Have you ever had rhubarb?
Yeah, I think once in my life.
Okay. Most of my rhubarb consumption was raw. Because we had rhubarb
really?
growing in our backyard, and we made pies out of it a few times. But you know, for the most part, it was just like it's in the backyard. You can go grab it, take it inside, rinse it off, and just eat it as a snack.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've had rhubarb pie several times, and getting the right balance of like soft versus hard rhubarb is really tough to do. I'm sure you've had apple pie where like the apple was, you know, still kind of like too crunchy or was just too mushy.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Yeah, rhubarb is kind of the same way. If it's too mushy, it's really gross and I wouldn't bother finishing it. If it's There we go. If it's too hard, it just makes it, you know, not as enjoyable to eat. Do you like carrots hard or
I got-
soft, by the way?
I prefer them
I
actually
do too. I
hard.
hate cooked carrots.
I don't mind cooked carrots, but I just prefer them hard.
Oh, you prefer them hard?
Oh yeah, you know, the harder the better.
I don't like cooked carrots.
Are you gonna get
I don't like cooked
freaky?
carrots whatsoever. I would rather just eat them raw. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a dish," stew is fine. You know, because it's just like of the, you know, vegetables that are in there usually. You know, like you got your like your celery and your carrots and stuff. It's all kind of mixed together, cooked long enough so that way all the vegetables just kind of mush in your mouth. Not as bad, but like cooked carrots themselves, I don't know, the process of like eating warm mushy carrots is gross to me. I actually have that
What?
as a conversation in one of my books between two characters who are very much not alike. They end up eating next to one another, and neither of them eat their carrots. So they have a little bonding moment over the fact that one of them just hates carrots, and the other one hates the texture of cooked carrots.
I love that. That's
It's
funny.
actually between
We bond over
it's
carrots.
a conversation between Leah and Wade. Leah is the I don't know if I told you about her story specifically, but she's the one who ends up being stabbed and healed over and over again. you know, in the cave. I think I told you about that. She gets kidnapped, and then the guy like, you know, kidnaps her from her kidnappers, and then goes and hides her away in a cave. Gets like some of the healing dust, and then decides to like stab her in the abdomen, you know, and have his way with the wound, and then use the healing dust to prevent her from bleeding to death.
Jeez.
I was literally like, what is the most fucked up thing I could do to this character? Came up with that and was like, yeah, that's fucked up. I'm glad when I tell people about stuff like that, though, they're like, wow, an imagination. I'm like, yes, imagination only. I feel bad writing like really, really gruesome stuff because people will, of course, always be like, is this a fantasy for him? Like, no. I literally just wanted the most fucked up thing that I could think of, augmented by my world building. So, you know, like, what's something that exists in my world that I could use to, you know, have a massive negative to this person's life?
Stir this around a little bit. I don't know why I'm still playing this. It's somehow somewhat a little bit enjoyable. Which is
It's
better.
like Peppa Pig all over again.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Just falls on the ground laughing in the middle of the kitchen. Dinosaur. Rawr. Today we're gonna make some dinosaur steaks. Rawr.
Right.
I'm glad you can agree that Peppa Pig, like, herself isn't really a character that kids should want to be like. She's a massive narcissist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then again, most little kids that age are. Like, they're just super selfish. No, Willow is absolutely ridiculously selfish.
Yeah. Let me take him up. Ugh. 1 second.
Nice. Alrighty then. Might as well get the rails done.
Hey.
I dare
Wait
to
a
use
moment.
that as a pickup line.
Right.
Start talking to
Dinosaur.
a girl who is like maybe 2 years younger than you, and make a joke that you're older. You know, something to do with the age difference, because, you know, 2 years isn't that big of a deal. But then, like, imply that you are a dinosaur, and then go rawr.
I'm a dinosaur. Hey.
If you don't, I will. And I'll let you know how it
That's
goes.
my pickup line to a girl. Hey. I won't even say I'm a dinosaur. I'll just go bang.
There you go. You don't have to. You know, we were talking about the socializing earlier. Needing to go into a bar and stuff like that. You don't have to socialize. Just walk into a bar, find the
Uh-huh.
cutest chick in there, walk up to her and go, "Rawr," and then go sit down.
I-
Just do the thing in Peppa Pig where you
Take
fall
this.
on the floor with like the jankiest animation ever.
Hey girl, do you like dinosaurs? Because I like
You can
dinosaurs.
roar whenever you like.
Right.
You li- Said you can roar whenever you like.
God, it's almost impossible to wash off your dishes, you know? Like, clearly, after using them, cooking 101 means washing off
You
your
talking about
dishes.
Chris?
No, I'm talking about
Oh.
this game. But I could see the
Yeah, I don't
confusion.
like dishes sitting around in real life much at all. Every week, as soon as the girls leave, I just wash all the dishes. Because I don't use that many of them. They use way more in the short time that they're here than I use all week long. You know, because I don't
And who can blame
prioritize
you?
putting shit on a plate. If I make a pizza, I'm going to eat it off the fucking cardboard. That's just how it's going to be. I'm not going to dirty a plate when it comes on a plate.
Finally, a man that knows.
I make a pizza, I eat half of it. I save the other half for breakfast tomorrow to eat cold. Mainly because I don't have my my toaster oven over here yet. I do have to go this week to apply for a job, though.
I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. I don't want to believe it. Believe it. I can't do it.
Should be alright, though.
It won't be okay.
Well, originally, my budgeting for this year, I had planned out specifically, and of course that ended up falling through because of personal issues that other people had.
Hmm.
Gonna go visit Lucy tomorrow. Do every Monday. Probably end up,
You gonna visit her?
probably end up playing some frisbee with Henry as well.
Where's she at?
She's over at my mom still, because she has the puppies.
She hasn't switched to your grandmother's or Nicole's yet. Did you ever get in contact with Nicole about the dog
Yeah,
situation? Good, good.
Yeah, she said everybody was excited to have her back over there. Both of the girls like her. Which, I
Oh,
mean,
that's good.
she did live with me, so they had tons of time to spend time with her and everything. Of course, they all get annoyed with each other, though. Lucy gets annoyed with them, they get annoyed with her. Because if my lap is available, all of them try to vie for it. Lucy's like, I want to lay down on Daddy. And then, of course, she has to contend with the children who want to as well.
Ah,
So last year was kind of the trial run for that, basically, because the girls had never had to worry about Lucy being around, and then Lucy never had to worry about the girls being around, and then of course they were both together at my place.
I don't want to get new recipes. I'm throwing a plate. I just broke a plate. My anger caused me to break this. I let my emotions get control of me.
Get the better of you.
For that, I'm stepping down as head chef.
You posting a sorry video?
On TikTok.
Guys, I'm sorry for things that I said, things that I did, people that I did. What? Nothing. That would be my apology video.
I'm not actually sorry.
I debated
that,
on
that
just
was
making a generic apology video, pretending like I had done something wrong.
I'm sorry for the sins I've done. Is it too late now to say sorry? Oh, do you want me to come join you in that? I see
Sure,
you
you
in
can
that.
come join me. I'm almost done with this one.
I see
You
you.
won't be able to get the achievement.
That's okay. I don't want an achievement grind. Not yet. I'm gonna wait for a week that I need achievements, and I'm gonna be like, oh, Ben.
Plus, if I'm
come
still
with me."
ahead of you at that point, then I can drag you to missions that you don't have yet. I don't know if you've done all of the ones leading up to this. I'm
Exactly.
on the subway platform. Oh yeah, let me make it co-op.
No, I just finished the one with the giant slide. So,
Did you do the lights
before
first?
switching games. No. Like I said, I'm gonna wait for
Right. Yeah, this is a really
week.
easy
I
one
need
to
achievements.
farm achievements in.
Yeah, I'm on the jet plane.
And you're leaving on the jet plane.
On a jet plane.
You don't know when you will power wash again. Oh hey, baby.
Do we join Pookie's party?
Sure, we can do that.
Really bad.
Let's bomb her party.
Oh,
It's invite
whoops.
only.
I accidentally.
Hang on.
Damn.
Do I still have the invite? I do. Okay, so the party she had invited me to no longer exists.
Ah,
And the party she's in is invite only. I like how she literally was telling us she doesn't think he puts it on invite only, and the party's invite only.
Dragon, I have a question for you.
what's up?
I gave you advice.
I know you did.
Dragon, I have a question.
Just
What?
tried joining like 20 seconds ago, which is why it's funny that you
Wait, you didn't invite her? She just joined?
joined us.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she
funny.
just joined.
We were
literally
just
just
trying
got
to join your
back
to this
party.
party.
I have a question to you before I forget. Does that cooking simulator cost money or?
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, it is.
It's not co-op though.
Okay, that's number 2. Isn't it past your bedtime?
At number 2. It's 12:07. Damn.
Oh, it's 11:07 for me. Yeah, got you, Bowerhead.
That's
You
okay. I'll
live up
finish
in
this one
Maine
off
or
with Ben,
whatever.
and then yeah. I mean, Chris is in the shower.
I
so
mean, it's
have
gonna be
to
a
wait
hot
until
minute
he's
until this
out.
one's done,
Ah.
Dragon. I mean, you see, I've done
could just
most
take a shower
of it,
with Chris.
but there's stuff that I left is the tedious shit.
You could just take a shower with Chris.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I could. I scrub his
You
balls.
could.
He scrubs mine.
save water.
Lick shine his scrotum.
He covers mine.
It would save water if you did. You know.
If he spit shined me, that would also save
Yeah.
water. But
If he what?
Nothing.
If he
nothing
spit
like
shined
a hot
me.
loogie up the pooter
What is that?
to get clean.
I'm sorry.
You
What is
know.
that?
Hard day.
What are you
We're not-
saying?
Slapping man cheeks.
Did you say what did you say? Can you repeat yourself?
I said spit shine me. That would save
What is
water.
What is that?
When you spit on something and you're trying to shine it,
Like when you
like you use your saliva on something
when you.
to clean it. That's
That-
what spit shining's known as. Usually it happens
okay.
on
Yeah,
plates
yeah,
and
I
stuff.
understand. I
And in the
understand now.
original
I get
Space
it. I
Jam
understand.
movie.
So I'm
I
saying,
totally understand. I makes sense. Makes
so
a
I'm
lot of
I've
sense.
worked in the
saying
food
if he
industry, I
was
know what a
to
spit shine
spit
is.
shine me, that would save water.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's because I just spelled it out for you. I was gonna say.
SPITSHINE.
Wait, what did you
Spitshine.
just spell?
I spelled out
Spitshine.
Spitshine for you.
Sorry.
Wow. All right. You really had to spell out that one for her, and she still didn't get it.
Anyway, wait, he has to re-invite me. Oops.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I didn't think-
ISPELLEDOUT.
Didn't I tell him to re-invite me to the party?
SPITSHINE.
Oh. Okay, you can stop spelling it out now.
I spelled out
You know, you
spelling
could
out
spell
the
something.
words.
You could spell out something completely different, and I still wouldn't understand. I still think you were spelling out the same exact
so when you
thing.
song.
Yeah. What was that? What did you spell?
Yes,
What's
that's what
up?
you said. What's
And
up,
if you think
Ank?
that we can't sing it faster, then you're
How's
already
it
gone.
going?
What'd you spell out?
Campfire.
The campfire. Jesus.
She might not know that.
Campfire
You're
song.
going too fast. You're going too fast. Going
She-
too fast.
We just spelled out spit shine for her.
Okay.
You didn't get it. You didn't know what spit shine was. You know what spit shining is, right?
Oh my god.
When you're cleaning a dish without water. So
Good lord.
And you just spit on it and then like clean it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
didn't
I
know
mean,
what that
I
was.
didn't know what it was called, but like, yeah,
Dragon, again, isn't it past your bedtime?
trying to get you to go to bed.
Grandpa, it's time for bed.
I have to wait.
Stop talking about how epic the memes were back in 2016. Go to bed.
I'm just saying.
Shit was
Just go
freaking
to
gold.
bed. He has
To
important
wait for the
stuff he
shower
gotta
to be
do.
available. Remember that?
He just doesn't want
Remember I
to.
said that?
Didn't I already
Waiting
say
for the
you could
shower
take
to
the
be
shower with him?
available. Walks up to the shower.
But
Hey,
he was
babe.
not.
Whoa
You see
there.
anyone? Chris is like, dude, why are you in here? Talking to the shower. Mind your business.
The faucet.
Flushes the toilet. What do you think about that, bitch? Is it getting hot in here?
I'm cheating at the shower with the toilet.
Wait, okay, you don't need to be that mean.
When you get home after a long day at school and the shower like notices that your hair is wet, like, who have you been seeing? The bullies at school gave me a swirly. You're cheating on me with another
Oh
toilet?
my god.
God, I can't
How
believe it.
dare you?
I can't believe you did such a thing.
So I may or may not have gotten 2 more chickens to add to the little group.
It doesn't
He's been
make
getting
sense.
mad at
Chicken
me.
farmers.
I got like 9.
No,
10
actually, there's
sheep.
sheep and there's also cows and
He's
there's a
got
horse.
chicks on the side.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, 2 of them right here. She even stole my hoe too. She
Oh
won't
my
give it
god.
back.
This again? I gave you.
Yes.
What do you mean? It's in the.
You didn't give it back.
It's in the
put it in the
chest. Oh my
chest.
god. That's a creeper.
That's not giving back.
That's what I'm saying.
Say it louder for the
There's
On a
creeper,
side
by the
note,
way.
like,
I heard that you guys told her that she was in denial as well.
what you in denial of? A lot of things.
Exactly.
No, I'm not in denial of a lot of things. I don't know what
She's
you're
not in
talking about.
denial
She says
of
that
a
I'm
lot of things. She's
gaslighting
in
her,
denial
but I'm
about
just
most
not.
things.
What most things? Give me an
Twin
example.
Towers, definitely
please.
an inside job. Don't know why you deny it.
Yeah, I never denied that. That definitely seems like it would have been an inside job. Give me a different
She's in
example.
She's in denial of being in denial.
Exactly. She's always like, "Oh, you're gaslighting
not
me." Like, no,
in
I'm
denial
not
about any-
gaslighting you. You're just
I'm
in
not
denial.
in
You're the gas. I'm the match. I'm not gaslighting you. I'm light gassing you. when you give the
I'm
Jews
just-
a
I'm just
shower, I'm not
telling you
gaslighting you.
that
I'm
you
light
just can't be
gassing you.
trusted.
We could be giving you more. Be extra fatal.
Is that what you call it when you have like tiny poops around someone? I'm lightly
You know
gassing
what?
you.
You know what? Dragons in
When you
denial
really
about
have to
anything
go,
is
it's like knocking at the door to come out of your rectum. So you're just like, all right,
You know what else
just,
dragon
just
is?
squeeze
You know
out
what
that
else
last
dragon
little
is
bit
in
of
denial
fart.
about?
All right, yep, smells nasty, but I mean, like, it
That's
needed
big.
space. I'm about to blow. There's a turtle head poking out.
You know what dragons in denial about?
Our baby.
A lot.
About thinking he can get a girlfriend when he
He's not in
can't.
denial about that.
Yeah, he is. He seems to be
I'm
in
not.
denial about it. He seems to think he knows He knows a
I'm not
lot.
in denial of anything.
Dang, she's coming for you.
No, she's coming.
He's really not. He doesn't know anything.
Not in the right way.
Oh my god.
Look, you're the one who said it was okay for us to be
I
in the
should've-
same party.
I should have seen that one. I should have
It
seen
should.
that
You
one.
did literally
It happens
say,
every
"Hey,
time I
that'll
say
be
something
okay,"
like that. I should have seen that.
and then
Hey,
then
that'll
forgot
be a
that she
fun
was
I did say
talking
that
to
would
us.
be
Like, it'll be
okay.
fine.
3 guys at one time? That'll be fun.
That won't go wrong at all.
I mean, hey,
3 guys at one
we've
time
got
is fun until the
Brian's
paternity
in here
test.
all the time. Brian's in here all the time with you
I know,
two, and then
just
there's
3
also
guys, you don't even
Brandon
have to
who's
worry about
also
the
in here
test.
all the time.
You just have a lot of guys. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
You just have a lot of guys.
It's almost like that burger place. What was it?
Is it
4
like-
guys?
I'm confused.
It's 5 guys? 6 guys? How many guys?
No guys?
Walk into 5 guys like 4 guys?
Fall,
I'm-
fall
How
guys.
many
Dragon.
guys?
Dragon.
Fall
Listen,
Guys.
Dragon. I'm pretty sure I would know if I had any guys, and I don't.
In denial.
In denial.
It's okay. One day.
Actually.
One day she'll accept it.
In denial about what?
Ravioli.
I don't
What,
know. A lot of
things?
things. A
An
lot of
abundance of
A
things.
plethora of things. I used a word that made me sound smart, people.
You know,
Oh,
Ben, you
yes,
know I don't
of
understand
course.
when you
I always
use
thought
big
that was
words.
hilarious in high school. Like, you could tell when somebody was writing something and they were like, let me just use a big word here. And then people would read
Try to be smart.
People would
We don't like it
read
when
my
you use
reports
big
and they were
smart
like, I
words-
don't even know
smart
what you're
people
talking
words,
about.
okay.
You use too many big words. And I was like,
It's hard to-
I don't
use
get
my
off when you use
vocabulary.
big dicks.
I know what plethora means, but it's very annoying when you use big words. You know this.
Why is that?
Most of the times, we don't understand what he's saying. He over-explains things.
I feel like
is
my
what he's saying.
vocabulary is not that high.
Oh, Ben
You
Celeste
over-explain
trying to
it.
explain something.
I don't understand why you,
Right?
this.
It's like trying to
The
I
get.
word.
literally will explain something.
It's like trying to get
perfectly.
directions from Chris in the car. It's just
What?
impossible to get
Okay,
what you're
first,
trying
first
to
of
talk
all, I
about.
want
out.
to say that that comparison might be good, but I'm excellent at giving directions in cars.
Like, when you explained how to do something in Stardew, I think the first time I
You were like,
didn't
how do I
understand
upgrade?
it.
And I was like, 5 copper and money and go to the blacksmith. And you were like, oh, it's too complicated.
That's not what.
That seems
is
pretty simple.
Not what
That-
you
that
said.
seems very
is
simple.
I may
not
have
what
explained it in like 10
said.
times
That's
the
not-
amount of words.
That's
but
not at all what he would say.
That's not at
That's
all
how a
close to
normal
what he
person
said.
would explain something. That's not how he would explain it.
Explain that,
That's
Dragon.
not at all how he explained it. Explain what?
Explain that. It's gonna be a sign in my classroom. Explain that.
It's a picture of me.
You know, it's got that winking face with your arms folded, and it just says "explain that."
It's the picture of my tuck job. Just says "explain that."
Oh God, no.
I think
And,
that's too.
and then you
You
get
teach us
brought
sport- Ben,
you
you
get
do
brought
know
into
what-
the superintendent's office, and they're like, "Can you explain that?"
Ben.
And you're like, "No, but I
Like,
can
what's going
explain
on?
that."
He teaches fourth graders. I'm pretty sure he would be fired and maybe arrested for that.
Not arrested. Nah.
Officer, it was not me that did it.
It's all Ben's fault. No, Dragon, it's your fault. It's always your fault.
Oh, it's great. I got
I know
pulled
that.
over
For
today.
what?
Oh, for what?
Rolling through a stop
Oh.
sign.
Cheating?
Yeah, figures.
Ooh.
Makes
Most
sense.
people rode.
I mean, I come
most
from
people
Florida.
rode
Give you a
through
ticket?
stop signs.
Nah.
That's good then.
Heck, I was driving on a dirt road and I rolled through a stop sign. You wanna know what happened? My grandpa chewed me out for it, and I was on the verge of tears. Like, he was yelling at me, and I'm
Really?
like, well, I
Oh.
didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. And
As
I-
somebody who
Hey,
We know
the
you
law
meant to do
doesn't
it.
care if you
Like-
meant to do it or not. You still did it.
as somebody who
Yeah, I
drove a
know.
manual
Yeah.
most of the time, if I could get down into first gear, it was basically a stop.
I'm not good at using brakes. Okay?
That's not good.
Me either.
I try my
especially
best,
when I
but
see
I
people.
try to slowly brake. No, listen, don't laugh.
When I see a girl with facial
It's rude.
piercings and green hair, I'm
I'm
not
gonna
good at
use the
using
gas
brakes.
pedal.
is why I hate you, Dragon.
Getting
I did
pulled over
nothing.
at stop signs, Dragon.
I plead the
I
fifth.
hate you.
Your lack of driving skill. That's why I hate you. Me pouring a bunch of stuff in Cooking Simulator. That's why I hate you.
Most of the time, my rolling through a stop sign isn't like most people's rolling through. I'm still technically moving. I never come to like a full, complete stop. Like, I never get like that little like,
But you're going like
that
1
little,
mile
like,
per hour, 2
bop
miles
or
per
whatever.
hour.
You know, like your head or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even roll through
If
the
I
stop
don't
sign.
see anybody coming and there's no one in the crosswalk, I see no reason as to stop fully.
Listen, I didn't even roll through the stop sign. I went a little bit ahead. The car went a little bit ahead of the stop sign because
Like-
I couldn't see the road.
I've slowed down enough to look both ways to know there's no cars coming. There's no one even on the sidewalk. I'm gonna keep rolling.
I will get down slow enough so that way it looks like I might have come to a full stop with the jerk of my like accelerating again. Of like the
But it's like if they weren't watching you the whole time.
yeah,
they
the
wouldn't know.
second I would have been able to come to a stop, I instead hit the gas.
Or
If
why
I'm
aren't you in bed?
entirely clear.
Yeah, but
Me?
why aren't you in bed?
Not you.
I am in bed.
I'm not talking to you.
I've got
I'm
my
talking
feet
to the
kicked
person
up.
who's
I've been
playing
eating
Minecraft
from
with me
fried chicken
now.
right
Are
now.
you either of you in Minecraft? No,
I mean, to be
Dragon,
fair,
you
you
don't
didn't
even like
specify.
Minecraft.
And you were telling him he needed to go to bed earlier. So I can see
Sure.
how there'd be a little bit of confusion.
Yep, see?
Well,
Dragon-
I'm talking
She's
to the
just
person
in
who's
denial.
you
Dragon,
who's
look
playing
down and tell me
Minecraft.
that
He doesn't even
where
like
I'm
playing
spraying
Minecraft.
right now would not piss you off needing to spray all of this.
No, that's what pissed me off.
No.
Look at that. I just helped you. I just got it done.
Don't die.
What have you been
I
doing?
didn't die,
Literally,
don't
it
worry.
takes
It's
so
fine.
long to spray off all four sides, or both sides of all four of these fucking rails and cables and shit.
What map are you guys on?
The subway.
Subway?
I haven't even done that one.
Yeah, I know.
We ain't talking about the sandwich joint.
All right, well, you can do the ceiling and walls over on that side then in that tunnel. I'll do it on this side. You can do the floor and rails on this side.
What are you hiding over here? What are you hiding over here? Oh
Stay out of my
God.
drawers.
His chickens.
When she starts
Will you stay out of my... Don't touch
You're
my
collecting
stuff.
flowers.
unbuckling your pants,
That is
stay
my
out of my
stuff.
drawers.
It better be there.
We had. You do know we have a chest for all that, right?
That's my chest, though. I'm not sharing
That's
my
a barrel.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm not sharing.
Are you
She
just
shut the door in my
entitled to
face.
his stuff?
But
No.
That's the way
Yes, messed up.
relationships work,
My
Dragon. What's
flowers.
yours is mine, and what's mine is mine.
if
I don't think that's how that works either.
How Minecraft works.
hey, buddy, come here.
I don't think.
Hey, Pookie,
No,
my
it's
realm?
not.
Yeah, all that stuff you put in your chest is mine now.
No.
I paid
Sharing
for
is
that.
caring.
No.
I deserve your horse.
I
I
worked
fetted
hard
apples.
to get that. Okay. Okay. Don't make any more chickens.
I actually had a friend
seriously,
back in
we're
the day
gonna
when
end up lagging out the
Xbox
entire
first had Minecraft.
No fun.
All of my
Ow.
friends and I played it,
I pressed another
and
chicken. Hey, that
one
was
of the friends,
rude.
the host of the
You hit
world, was
me.
like, "I am the king of this world. You must all pay tribute to me." So we were all like paying him taxes and shit. He was like,
What were
he
the
was
taxes?
like, your taxes are 5 iron ingots per day.
Damn. I'm sorry, I don't have enough to pay the taxes. Oh, all right, we'll just take your house then.
I lived in an igloo on that server.
He starts hiring
What
the
server?
On
IRS
my
for...
the first
Silver.
friend server I played on in Minecraft on Xbox. I miss my MCSG server house. Was it MCSG? I think it was on Mineplex. One of the clan war servers. I was El Chapo in my clan because I grew
fucking
cocaine.
idiot.
I know.
Well, at
You're not
least you know.
supposed to- That's rude. Dragon, you're more dumb than I am. Hold on, I'm gonna
Nah,
die. Don't
you
shoot
got
at
the
me.
wrong
I'm
guy.
gonna
You can't
die.
just assume that you're smarter than people, Pookie. That would make you a narcissist.
You're a narcissist.
You're a narwhal.
Excuse
She's not
you.
that awesome. She doesn't swim in the ocean and cause a commotion.
That'd be a compliment. Yeah.
You're a narcissist.
Narwhal swimming in the ocean, causing a commotion because they are so
You're hiding
awesome.
down there?
I'm not hiding. I'm just sitting here waiting for my health to
Hey,
return.
Pookie's
Pookie, I'm
online.
gonna have to delete you as a friend now.
What do you
You just
mean?
came online for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to remove you as a friend, sorry. You've been voted off the island.
Dragon does it more than mine. Maybe yours is just broken.
It happens. What? Maybe mine is broken. If mine was the broken one, it wouldn't be happening for Dragon to you.
You're just broken, bad.
Okay?
I
It's
am.
broken.
Give me my flower back.
I didn't
Dragon, are
take
you my
the-
mommy?
You're the one who broke it. Oh my! No.
No,
you're
are you
his
broken?
Daddy. You're his sugar daddy. That's what you do. You're everyone's sugar daddy.
Oh? I didn't know he was mine.
No, not yours.
Did you fill out the application?
I mean,
Not everyone's sugar daddy. Sorry. Only select people's sugar daddy.
you can.
I
call
like
me
to
daddy.
segregate people that I'm sugar daddy for and not.
Oh.
Non-sugar daddy and sugar daddy.
Dragon is definitely. Why'd you leave the game?
So I gotta go into bed. I got school in the morning.
It was bad.
To be fair, same reason
Yeah.
Dragon has to go to bed.
Why?
Exactly.
To be fair, that's.
But you're not. You're probably not gonna go to sleep anyway. You're probably just gonna
I have
sit there
to wait.
awake.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
try.
lay in
I don't
bed
know.
and think about my
I'm tired.
books for the next couple
Life.
hours, and then finally fall asleep. Oh yeah, Dragon, did you want to
If you
read
can't fall
the scene
asleep in
between
10 minutes,
Kovalet
you should
and
call me.
Zeus?
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see.
That's not
Over
reassuring.
and Zeus.
I should write the
Most,
third part
most
to it.
likely, definitely.
Maybe.
Definitely not is what
Tonight.
you mean.
We'll see.
Again, I haven't read the other scene
What do you
yet,
mean?
so I say maybe in the
Not
nicest
No,
reassuring
way.
no,
at all.
it's all like it's the same chapter. The entire chapter is dedicated to those two.
I'll check in 10 minutes to see if you're still awake, Stan.
Ooh, you're gonna
Or
choose
maybe
me?
15.
Ooh,
All
that's
the time.
adorable.
Dragon, she's gonna check on you in 10 minutes to see if you're still asleep.
No,
She's
I'm
gonna
not
tell me
check
in
on
10 minutes
Dragon.
I should be in the shower or be in bed. What are you talking
They're
about?
like, you better get to bed. You got school in the
There's
morning.
no checking on me. It's literally, you
You
should go
better
to
get to
bed.
bed. You have school in the morning.
Pookie, internet high five.
See,
we
that
don't have
applies to
school.
both of us.
Not Dragon. No, not Dragon. You, however, do need to go to sleep. You have school.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I can get fired from my job. You can't get fired from school.
I could get. I could.
Actually, no. Yeah, actually, you could. Technically.
My
You can't
my
get fired
principal
from
If you lose
threatened
your
to
job,
not
maybe
let
if
me
you
kicked
lose
out.
your job,
graduate,
you'll find a higher pay
or
job.
do like the walk. He threatened to not let me walk
Mhm.
for my
walk?
graduation because he
You're not
heard
allowed
me
to
call
walk.
the band teacher a fucking dick right when we were like going through the practice or whatever.
And
Well-
you told him,
well, we
I
were
can
sitting
walk
in
with
the
my own 2
hall.
feet.
And my best friend in high school was sitting next to me, and he was telling me about the fact that like he was in choir, and that they were supposed to be like one final practice before they do like the singing for the actual graduation ceremony, because everybody that was in
Honestly,
choir was
I'm gonna
going
be
to
honest with
go
you.
somewhere else, and then
Oh, you're still doing this?
I'm glad I didn't do the whole choir thing.
anyway
for
he
my last year,
after the
honestly, if I'm quite
practice.
honest with you.
For the walk,
I
he
hear
was
you.
going to go and have like a celebratory meal with his family or whatever.
Let me look at your side one.
And the band teacher
Look
told
at your
him
side.
that if he didn't go to the practice that was in between the practice walk that we did and the actual walk that we were going to be doing later, he wasn't going to be allowed to actually do the singing for the event, for the graduation.
Wow.
So I very loudly exclaimed, "Wow, what a fucking dick!"
See, there's that.
And the
Thinking
principal,
that
like,
his footsteps were the ones that were coming around the corner because he had just left that way.
Okay.
So
Your mistake.
the
Obviously.
principal came around the corner and was like, "Do you even want to be allowed to walk?"
Do you want to have kneecaps in the
well, you won't.
I'm gonna be
I can
honest.
take them away.
So when I was handing out my graduation invitations, right?
Hey, what you
My
putting-
dad wanted me. Shut up, Dragon. I'm talking. My dad wanted me to call my grandma, my mom's mom, and make sure to tell her not to bring my mom because if my dad had told her, she wouldn't have listened. And I didn't want my mom at my graduation because still a little bit salty at my mom.
I'm just a
Obviously,
girl
why wouldn't
who's
I be?
angry at her
She
mom.
deserves it. And apparently, according to my cousin, when I did do that, they were at my aunt's with my sister. And my grandma was like, her dad probably told her to say that.
Ooh.
And she said some stuff, and I was like, yeah, I don't want her at my mom. It's my mom at my graduation. If my mom comes to my graduation, I'm taking her out. And obviously, she didn't take me seriously when I said that.
Because she was there.
No, my mom
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
there. But I mean, when I had told her, apparently she had said something about too nice or whatever, which was rude. That's why I don't really like my grandma. Kind of a bitch. Of course, I won't say that to her face.
I
but
still
she's
haven't
kind of a
talked
bitch.
to my grandmother on my dad's side ever since she messaged me and told me that I needed to apologize to Nicole for Nicole putting stuff on Facebook that painted me in a bad light.
Yeah,
I don't
seems
see why
like she
Nicole
needs
would
to
do that.
apologize.
You seem really nice. So far. For the most part.
So far, she's like, that could change. We'll see.
No. Okay.
You should be nicer to Nicole.
Nicole should be nicer to you,
She should
honestly.
apologize.
She should apologize.
She's not going to. I don't expect her to. I don't want her to.
From what I've heard, honestly, I guess
I
from both
enjoy her
perspectives,
deciding
you
to
can
be
think
the
you're terrible
villain of
and you
my
can think she's
story.
terrible. Yeah, I hear a lot of bad things about Nicole from you. Never heard a good thing about Nicole from you. So, is that?
There's not a whole lot good there.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
I
there's really
would
not.
speak of it if I felt it existed.
How'd you make that mistake twice?
What?
By the way, wondering. I don't know. You had 2 kids, so how did you?
He was like, wow, this worked so well the first time.
Why
why
did
not
you
have
have
another?
Well, it was
Right.
working when
Why
we
did
decided
you-
to have a second kid.
Was it really
Yeah.
though?
Define working.
We were getting along. She wasn't causing a whole lot
Yeah.
of problems for just about a solid
For the
year
whole lot.
leading up to us deciding that we were going to have Lily. So
A whole lot of problems. So there were some problems.
Well, hey guys,
The
I'm
silence
going to
is
bed.
deafening.
So,
Okay.
wish me
Good
luck
night.
tomorrow. Hopefully it's not too bad.
Get enough sleep.
I wish you luck on bed.
I'll try.
Stay hydrated tomorrow.
Thank you. See you.
Bye bye.
He's a sweet guy. I can see why you like him.
Here we go with this again.
he has a capacity for human emotion I don't have.
Right? Obviously. Of course. Oh my god, that explains why Dragon can't get a girlfriend.
My lack of human emotion explains why I can't have a
Hey.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
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 Ben, why don't you have more emotion? You're the reason I'm single.
I mean, I'm probably a contributing factor to
I'm
why.
gonna be honest, I thought you were talking about dragon. I thought you were saying dragon has a lack of emotion.
Oh yes, you're a contributing
mean, I'm-
factor,
I'm
especially
already-
when you're gone for like 6 months of the year for dance competitions.
Yeah,
You're a
that also
contributing factor.
contributes.
The plan is to not be needed to be gone as many days this upcoming one, because the plan is to
What, Dad?
have everything that I was like
No.
going up there early for each weekend to already be done.
Mm.
Because Tyler and I had talked
Hold on.
about the fact that he should get all of the parts for the trophies and everything ordered before the season starts, because needing to go up there
Yeah.
an extra day and just spend that entire day making trophies for an event, and then, you know, or spending
You did tell
spending
me about
half
you
of a
making
day
trophies.
getting them ready and then bringing them along to an event, and then needing to build trophies while working the event, kind of stressful.
You,
Plus,
we both know you would go up early anyway, whether just to hang out or whatnot.
I mean, I would go up early to hang out, sure.
You did send me a snap when you were making your trophies.
I kick ass at making trophies.
That's a great skill to have, Ben. Great skill to have. Good for you.
Good job,
During,
Ben.
during nationals,
I'm
we
proud of
had
you.
another kid that was working with us, and he was like so overly eager to please that almost bothered me just how willing he was to just go and do anything you told him to. The problem
And let me guess, you
the
slept
problem
with
being did actually weird because he was 14. Anyway,
them.
he
You
he kept
grooming
like he kept trying really kind of too hard and wasn't like slowing down at all for anything he was doing, so he ended up just making more mistakes. Like, I throughout the year, you know, like me learning to score keep and stuff like that, and getting it all mastered and everything, there were quite a few events where like small things would have gone wrong, and like you know, learning and getting everything figured out the way that it all needed to be done, because the guy who does the scorekeeping was retiring, and then the
Okay.
secondary scorekeeper that they had for last year didn't end up working with us again this year, so I needed to become the main scorekeeper, which is awesome. I don't mind it. It's nice. You know, being the person that works on the computer and like knows how programs work and everything, and then keeping everything straight and organized and making sure that everything is where it needs to be at all times. Getting stuff ready, checking on stuff is, you know, it's enjoyable as far as, you know, like a job goes. So anyway, wanted to make sure that for nationals everything went off without a hitch, and he just kept constantly like hovering, trying to get like more work from me and asking what he could help with and stuff like that. And so I was constantly like, yeah, I'm doing this right now, so if you want you can, you know, mimic exactly what I'm doing. At one point for the Grand Nationals, we had separate trophies that were entirely different, had to all be labeled up and everything, made sure we had enough of them because we didn't have enough for sales and for giving people. And at one point I had all of them spaced out, like I had my paperwork set for which ones I would need. Like I needed so many of the rising stars, so many of the stars level, like the runner-ups, the winners, and there were only like there was a certain number of runner-ups for each category, and each category always had a winner. So I was like, okay, so for this winner I have these ones, these ones, these ones. And when I set them up on the table, I had on the far right side, you know, running front to back on the table, I had my my winner, and then I would have coming off in a sideways like row my runner-ups. And so I had like my gold trophies and my silver trophies, and then in the order that I was going to end up like handing them out in, I would have like, you know, the winner and then their 3 runner-ups, and then the next winner and their 2 runner-ups, and the next winner by itself because there were no runner-ups for it, and stuff like that. So I had those all set up and everything. And then as soon as I turn around, he's got one runner-up, or one winner and 4 runner-ups set for all of them. Like, I had my specific number of trophies I knew I needed, and I had them set up in the order I needed them in, left him alone, didn't tell him not to touch it, didn't tell him to touch it. He just looked at it and went, that looks uneven, and filled up all of the empty spaces with, like, new runner-ups, like, 10 seconds before I was supposed to be handing the trophies out to people.
Oh,
And then,
no.
like, as I had moved them back to where they needed to be, there were extra trophies sitting there. Didn't even realize at first that he had gone and grabbed stars and rising star runner-ups from the sides where they weren't supposed to be taken from yet. So I had, you know, stars winners with rising star runner-ups, and I'm like, you know, the award ceremony is literally, like, he was already talking by the time I was putting the trophies out, because we had just gotten all the trophies ready in time. And he was, like, reading out stuff, and I'm sitting there, like, trying to quickly scan everything to make sure that I could move stuff and make sure that I got them, like, right in time. And I was like, okay, he said rising star, so I know that, like, he's reading them in the right order and stuff like that. I don't have my paperwork right here. I can't be checking that while I'm, like, literally everybody can see me standing in front of this table looking at all these trophies right now. I need to not look like I'm in a panic. So
Yep.
I had to very carefully read through all of the trophies to make sure that they were all the right levels. And then a couple times while I was, like, sitting there looking at them, I went, oh crap, I need these ones changed out. And so I went and I handed the trophy up to the person. I'm like, okay, he's going to go to the next category. I now have enough time to very quickly and calmly walk out of the room and go retrieve proper trophies. And the second I got into the other room, he was sitting in a chair. And as soon as I got in there and walked over to the table, he stood on the side of me that I needed to be able to move towards to get the other trophies that I needed. And he was like, what are we doing? And started grabbing trophies off the table without me telling him anything. And I was like, you're doing nothing. Leave the trophies alone.
Yeah. You've done enough.
I was like,
You've caused the situation.
Never asked for your help. I don't want your help. You're causing me problems. And I told Tyler afterwards, I was like, if he's coming next year, I don't need his help with my scoring. Because one of those things is like, you got your process, nobody interrupted, leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know, and then I would constantly have, you know, Tyler's not so bad about it because he knows that I'm not going to fuck it up. But his dad will come by, like, 5 minutes before awards, sit down at my computer and start, like, scrolling through shit. Like, while I need to be printing stuff off my computer and double-checking my data, he will just be sitting in front of my computer, double-checking his own stuff on it when I'm like, I'm going into awards. I need that computer.
Yeah. Alright, I don't know what's going on in there, but I gotta go take a shower, so I'm probably gonna get off and
You
figure
want to
stuff
leave
out.
it idle while we're sitting here so you get the money while I'm cleaning this stuff? Turn your Xbox
I
off
guess I
after
could
the
do that.
shower. Jesus.
Yeah, I
Pushing
could
me
do
all
that.
way.
Huh? You wanna complain about pushing?
Right, I want to see a dirty race. Plenty of pushing and shoving.
Alright, I'll be
Alright.
done. Have a good
You
night.
too. And then there was